Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brew Review, the Magic the Gathering podcast for deck building and brewing for the Commander format. I am your host, Michael, one of your hosts, and I'm joined here by the one, the only, my buddy for life, Cody.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
That was good. That's going good,
right? I felt like I had intro energy today, and we figured we'd swap it up and try it.
Yeah, I'm immensely proud. I do love that we're the Magic the Gathering podcast.
Why sell ourselves short? Sure, there's plenty of other ones, but we're the Magic the Gathering podcast for the Commander format. In my mind, we are.
Yeah, 100%. There's no other ones out there.
There's no other ones.
No,
not that I listen to.
That's that's fair. You don't. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing good. I am doing good. Recently got back from a trip, went to Chicago, Chi-Town.
Yeah.
First time ever. Chicago, freaking awesome. I like it there. Definitely see myself going there a lot more.
They do Magic Cons in Chicago.
Man, I would go for the food alone. The food in Chicago was fantastic.
You were telling me about. I've always wanted to go to Portillo's, and you were telling me you went there a few times.
Portillo's was the bomb. It really was. Chicago style hot dogs, Italian beef sandwiches. Apparently, is not just something they invented for the Bear TV show. It's a real thing that they do there.
Who would have known?
Who would have known? It's a big soggy steak sandwich. Now, when I say it's soggy, it's because they literally ladle juice right onto it, or you can just order it dipped, where they take the entire sandwich after they make it and they submerge the entire thing in au jus.
Oh, okay.
So you have a big soggy hero sandwich.
Okay.
Dripping wet, bread sopping wet with just greasy beef juice.
How did it feel to have that sopping wet beef juice in your mouth?
Almost as good as it felt with the juice running down the chin. It was delicious.
Okay.
God it was.
We took this too far.
Didn't think I'd lean in? You didn't think I'd lean in?
Anyway.
Do you not know me?
Yeah. That's good, man. I'm glad you had a good time out there in Chicago.
Yeah, it's cool.
Watching the foosball, as they say.
Yeah, went for a football trip every year. My cousins and I would go on a different stadium around the country, trying to see as many stadiums as we can. So
nice.
This year was Chicago, and I would say it was, out of all of our trips so far, it was second best in terms of food.
Okay.
Second only to New Orleans.
Yep.
It's
down in
your
food down there.
Yeah, down in your neck of the woods there.
Yeah.
New Orleans had some real good gumbo. Don't sleep on gumbo. Gumbo's delicious.
It's very hot, so don't sleep on it. Yeah, I've been down in New Orleans in a while. But
what are you, like an hour and a half away from it or something?
Yeah, I say that. I was in New Orleans the other day. We went to that concert that we were talking about in the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't stop for food because it was like, by the time we left, it was like midnight, and I was like, I have to get up for work tomorrow. I just want to go home.
There's like a big Crystal Burger there still, I think. Do you have a lot of Crystal Burgers, or is that like
I think
something
it's like
to go to New Orleans for?
Last dying ones out there.
Yeah.
There was a restaurant owned by Channing Tatum down there, which is why I think he might have been cast as Gambit. He made a name
because of the rrestaurant.
Just because of it, yeah.
Well, he's from New Orleans, right?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, I think that's his whole gimmick.
Yeah, I think so. And so, I don't know. I've never been to it. I've heard good things, but yeah.
I ate a lot of gumbo and red beans and rice and fried chicken.
Love southern Louisiana food. That or crawfish etouffee. That is like my two.
Beignets.
Beignets are good. It's just so, I don't know. Beignets are very hit or miss. You got to find a good place. Like there's a Cafe du Monde is a very big franchise down here, and they're probably like one of the better ones. That's like a kind of fast foody beignet. But like if you can find someone who makes you homemade beignets, that's a keeper.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's what's been up with me. How about you? What have you been up to?
No, I have not been traveling. I've been home working and playing a shit ton of Arc Raiders. Game
Yeah.
came out a few weeks ago. I initially didn't buy it right away because I was like, "Oh, I enjoyed the beta, but like we have a saying that it's a Justin game, and I
Mm-hmm.
had just bought Battlefield 6 recently
Oh,
because Justin texted me.
another Justin game.
Yep, he texted me. He was like, "Hey man," my dog just violently shook behind me. He texted me. He's like, "Hey man, I haven't had anyone to play Battlefield with. Do you want to get it?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." We played one time together, and
Mm-hmm.
that was it.
Yeah,
And
it's a Justin game.
so he texted me about Arc Raiders, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna get it because I had fun playing the beta by myself." Um, and I've been enjoying it. I've been playing a lot by myself just because like I like the. It is like I don't know how to describe the game, but like it reminds me of like early
Mm-hmm.
PUBG Battlegrounds, um, and just like you never know how each interaction is going to go because it's you have the AI of the enemies in the game, the arc uh, clankers as people have been calling them, and like
Whoa.
okay,
I don't like hate speech on my
oh
podcasts.
okay,
Come on.
well, clankers need to die. You know what I'm saying? Um, So like you know how your fights are going to go with those guys because they're like once they hone on to you, it's like they're not going to stop. Like this is probably like some of the scariest AI in a video game because like they'll literally follow you in the buildings and it's like what the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like each interaction is so different with players because like there's like a huge portion of that community who like don't want to fight. They're like, hey, whoa, we're friendly, and like you can toggle like your game chat versus like out loud chat to people.
Your proximity
Um,
chat.
proximity chat. I couldn't think of the word. Um, and so like yeah, so many times I'm like running into a building and I hold it down and I'm like, hey, friendly, just looking for parts. Don't mind me. Like not trying to fight anybody. Um,
Mm. Nah,
I think
I
I've
shoot
realized.
first.
Yeah, we kind of need to start shooting first because so Bobby, Justin, and I went into a map and we found like a secret tunnel thing, which kind of fitting for Avatar secret tunnel. Um, and we started like doing this puzzle in the secret tunnel, and we were like halfway through the puzzle, and these guys we grouped up with earlier just started killing us, and Justin was like so pissed. He's like, "Guys, come on, we should have shot them," and I was like, "What do you want? Like we didn't know it was gonna happen."
Yeah.
I think my
I
favorite
don't
story.
trust anybody.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to realize that because like literally like one dude just started like shooting me for no reason. Like we were like he was like 20 miles away from me and he started sniping me and I'm like, what are we doing, dude? Like I'm just searching through
Mm-hmm.
cars for parts. Like what? I think my favorite interaction came from I got a little cocky. I went in, I brought some really good stuff with me, some really good guns, and like these two arc like I like pissed them off and they wouldn't stop chasing me. And like I was like, oh my god, I'm out of healing stuff. Like what the fuck? And this dude is like, hey, come over here to this building. I'll help you kill him. So I get over there, and then he starts healing me. And I'm like, hell yeah, cool. He's like, you want to go extract together? I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great, man. Like I'm out of healing stuff. I'm really low on bullets. I kind of brought my good stuff with me, so I kind of want to get out of here. So we get to the elevator to leave the map. And so like once the elevator like doors shut, like you're pretty much safe. Like there is a split
Mm-hmm.
second time where you can get killed in the elevator. And so we get on there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, good job, man! Like you really helped me out there, killing those clankers before we descended." And like he went, "Sorry about this." And like I turned my camera, and he has a shotgun point blank and shoots me. Luckily, the door shut and like returns due to the
Mm-hmm.
area Speranza, and I was like, "Oh my god, I almost just lost everything. What the fuck?" But it was
I
funny
don't need
because
that
like,
stress.
oh
I don't need that stress.
yeah. I don't know. It's been fun. I like it. I like that there's constantly stuff to do. Like right now they're running like a month long event to unlock like the next like group of maps, I think. Because like there's 5 maps currently in the game, and you unlock them by doing more and more rounds. But right now it's like we're trying to create a tunnel system, and like people think it's going to unlock either a new set of maps or just a new map in general. But it's cool. I think it's like it's filling a nice itch for me because like I'm so done with Destiny. Like I tried going back to that with Edge of
It
Fate,
only took you 8
and
years.
yeah, it only took me 8 years. So it's fitting like a little bit of the looter shooter thing for me because like there's things like you can go out there and find blueprints for guns, and then like you can build you got to upgrade a workbench to like. So I'm kind of getting that kind of, and you got to go find stuff out in the world. But then it's also just like I don't know, the game feels good to play. Like it's a beautiful game. Literally, there was like we spawned into a room and we turned and the sun was setting, and it was like okay, this is like a 10 out of 10 like view of the world we're in.
See,
Like pretty
just play
cool.
the finals. The finals is just such a good game. It's the way my cousin describes the finals. It's the best game that you're not playing. The finals is like such a great game, and it is just so unique and feels so good and so fluid. And I don't understand why it doesn't get more love than it does. And like Arc Raiders, everyone's like, it's amazing. It's like it just seems like a worse version.
I like
Just a
finals,
more
don't get me wrong.
stressful
I don't
version.
know. I think they're just two totally different games because like finals is just PvP, whereas this like you have the opportunity for that PvE stuff, and like that's what I really enjoy about it. So
Yeah, I don't know. It can't be PvE and PvP because it's just PvP. Then, no matter what you're doing, you're always on the lookout for
something to happen.
players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've definitely seen a lot of videos where like people are like, all right, once those people go do it, we're gonna go kill a boss. We're gonna go run in and get all the loot from them. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, okay, well I don't want that happening.
That's exactly what I would be doing. Like, what's the other point? You just third team. You're
Working
just waiting
together,
for the dust to settle.
camaraderie. We're building a community here,
I'm working together with the people in my party, not
yeah,
some randos.
that's. I did see a funny clip of a streamer. He got killed, like they got knocked down, and the two dudes like walked into the room and like turned their flashlights on, and then started playing mariachi band music over their mics, and then they started like dancing their characters. And I was like, okay, this is funny. I enjoy this.
For every funny interaction like that, there's 100 more of just like son of a bitch shot me as I'm trying to extract.
I brought my best weapon in here. What the fuck?
I didn't have enough time to put it in my prison pocket to sneak it back to Esperanza or wherever.
So one thing, I think they changed something from the beta to the. So now you used to be you had 3 prison pockets. Now there's 1, and so like you got to kind of figure
more
out
realistic.
What you're bringing. It's more realistic, yeah, but it's kind of like we got to figure out what we're doing. So, but yeah, that's been I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders, and then anytime not playing Arc Raiders has been focused on Magic, either building decks or playing it and losing to you, Lazz, a lot.
We've played a lot of Magic the last week or two.
Yeah,
we've played a lot of it. I've been loving it. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I bet you have
thriving.
You've been on a nice little tear, I've noticed.
I don't know what everyone in my pod got worse or something. It seems because
I think you went to Chicago and something like you got really good at playing Magic High. Like I don't know what it is. The hot dogs.
It's those hot dogs. I've been putting ketchup on hot dogs for too long, and they're like, no more ketchup on hot dogs. You just diced onions, a sport pepper, and a pickle. That's what your hot dog gets now.
Yeah,
and it opened up a whole new world for me, and now I can play Magic for some reason. But we've been having some good Magic matches, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would say that. I would say it.
So we played the other night. We got 2 games in, which is always actually. Did we get 3 games in?
We got 3 games in.
We got 3 games in. You won 2 of the 3.
I almost won that third one too.
You got close. Yeah, you got close. The first one you were playing Hearthhole. I played Kratos twice in a row, and then I played Ardbert in the third one. We were trying to do like a quick everyone play your fastest decks, and I thought it went well. Yeah, you played Hearthhole in that first one, and you had the nastiest of turns where you scape shifted away what was it, 7 lands, and then you played a bunch of sack lands. So literally, you burned the table for like 30 plus damage, and then
Yeah.
in the ultimate like teabag like dunked on moment, it goes to Alan's turn, and Alan's like, "Well, I can do this, and that could probably help us a little bit, Cody."
I
I'm
let
like,
him go through the
uh huh.
entire planning phase, like 4 minutes into him trying to just come up with any answer.
And then
I'm
fucking
like,
Lazz
oh,
goes,
actually,
"Oh wait,
uh,
I could just sack all my lands and kill y'all." Because
at
you had
instant speed. What card
like a
was that?
Sylvan Safekeeper. I think it was like you sack a
Sylvan
land,
Safekeeper.
give a
Give
creature
a
shroud.
shroud. And
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
you were like, "Oh, I
oh,
can
look
just
at
do
that.
this. I can
I'm
just
gonna
sack all my
sack
lands."
6 lands and deal another 12 damage to everybody at the table. And
Yeah, Hearthhold is fucking scary, and it's
yeah,
insane. It's a pre-con commander.
it's the deck that I've wanted.
Yeah,
Ever since we started the show, I said I want a deck where I just abuse my lands and I sacrifice as many lands as I can and get benefit from it. And man, that deck delivers. It's got a pretty good win rate. And even the games it doesn't win, it's because I'm getting targeted because I'm doing scary stuff.
yeah. I think it's like it's such a commander where like if you don't interact with it, like if you just let the charge counters build up to the 8, where you can start dealing damage,
Mhm.
um, it's it's gonna pop off unless you can interact with it. So it's yeah, I don't know.
Having that scape shift in hand did help though.
Yeah, that
I
was
had
definitely.
I had to do that though because I was the hero at first until I killed
Oh yeah,
everybody
oh yeah, because
because I need to kill the
the
what was Mike playing?
dinosaurs, those fucking dinosaurs.
Oh, Gisheth, right? He was playing
He was
Gisheth.
playing Gishap, and he got like he had fucking like Galta, he had other stuff out. It was like
I
insane.
th- I think he had like 11 dinosaurs out. He had a full board of just enormous dinosaurs, and it was like, all right,
Yeah,
well, as soon as it's his turn, he wins. So I was like, all right, I think I can kill him.
yeah,
Don't
it
target
was.
my stuff, and I'll kill him. And everyone's like,
Yeah,
okay.
it was like okay, yeah. Alan walks away with 2 life. I'm at like 10. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's one of those.
I did say I can kill him, but not everyone's gonna like it. I did
Yeah,
preface it.
yeah. I played Kratos and Atreus that game, and didn't go too well. And I followed it up in the second game again, and I had a nice little start where I had the Caduceus Staff of Hermes out on Kratos,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
hitting people for like 10 apiece, and I was like, okay, cool. This is like I'm doing enough, right? And then here comes Mike on his Black Waltz deck, and he fucking burns the table for like 30. And I think you cleaned up after he burned the table for like 30.
Yeah. I was playing Sidar Jabari.
Yeah, you get a shit ton of knights.
I had a whole bunch of knights,
You get
and I
a
screwed you from doing the cool thing you wanted to do, which I felt bad about. Felt bad about it, but I
it
had
was
to do it.
so close. So in Kratos and Atreus, I have a card called Shields of Velisvel, which is 1 white, and you can make a board of creatures any creature type. Well, Mike went to board wipe. He played Blasphemous which would have killed all of everyone's creatures. Well, Michael had
Hmm.
what you had like fucking 14 creatures. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna rack up
Yeah.
on experience counters from Kratos. So like I played it. I was feeling so good, and then you went in response. I'm gonna flash in this knight that phases all my stuff out,
Oh
and I
yeah.
went
What's that knight?
no.
What's that
Can't think of
card?
the
It's
name of the
I've
knight.
never gotten to use that card.
Yeah,
It's in
it's
so
like
many
the
decks.
It's like the something. It's 1 and 2 white. I can't remember, but it phases out. It's pretty much a Teferi's protection, but for your as a creature's version.
Just for creatures. So
Yeah,
I leave myself wide open, but I didn't lose any creatures in that blasphemous act at least.
yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, it was me and Alan rebuilding, so you were safe. And yeah, you just
Mm-hmm.
kind of you won the game there
I
because you had
cleaned
that
up
Silverwing
after.
Squadron. You had 2 Silverwing Squadrons because you had
Yeah.
the Lijara enchantment out. I made copies of Knights, which was nuts.
You remember my games better than I do. I just remember I
Hey,
won because I had a lot of stuff.
as long as it's in the past week or two, I'm okay. After that, I don't remember shit. Then we
What's
played.
that card called?
We played
Sorry.
the. Well, you know, I was going to go to the third game. We
I
tried to play a
played
fast
Rats.
pass one, and you played Rats. I played Ardbert. I don't remember what Mike was on. and then Alan, I think, was on either Osier or Nekusar. We're playing a fast one. That was usually his
Yeah,
go-to
it's
for a
probably
fast
neck
game.
is, which I don't know why. That's like the slowest.
It takes him a
It's like
lot
such
to
a
get built up. I think it
it's
was
such a slow
Nekusar
burn.
because I started getting rid of his enchantments. I think Mike ended up winning that game. I can't remember what Mike was playing.
Probably some dumb card.
Oh, it was Chatterfang. He played fucking Chatterfang.
Chatterfang's annoying.
Yeah, I don't like that. Chatterfang's a fucked up magic card. Like, it's insane that they're like, yeah, you're gonna double your tokens, and we're giving you a sack outlet on it. That's totally chill. Totally cool. He made like 30 fucking squirrels, and then he sacked them with a Deer
sacked
Nightblade
them all.
out. And so he like just pinged us all down. So it was like insane.
Guardian of Faith. That's the card. That's the any number of creatures you have phase out until your next turn.
So that was kind of cool to see, actually, because I've never seen that actually go through for you. I think you've always wanted to.
It sucks. I always just play it at like normal speed and don't do its effect just so I can have a night out there.
Yeah.
But played that, and then we played again the other night.
Yeah, played again the other night. I was on. When did I play that night? What did you play that night?
I played Alondra.
Oh, sorry, you played Alondra. You fucking cleaned it up with Alondra.
Alondra's so good.
Oh, I played Valdorn. I had. I don't know.
That's
man.
right.
I love
Valdorn.
But I've been looking at this Firelord Zuko, and I'm like, I can't have 2 exile decks, can I?
Well, one of them's good, so I can play the Firelord Zuko.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I had some like pretty cool shit going on. I had shared animosity out with like 6 wolves.
Mm-hmm.
So and they all had haste, so I got to make like some big ass wolves. I don't know. We talked about this. I think I'm too nice lately in games, and I need to just start pulling triggers and killing people.
Well, otherwise the games just take forever. I said to Cody, and I'm not sure if everyone agrees with this. I'd rather get 3 mediocre games in than 1 good game.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Like half the time by turn 6, I'm ready to say, all right, let's just scoop and shuffle up. And if I'm not doing what I want to do by turn 6, the game's lost.
Like spoken like a true bracket 3 player.
No, it's just if it's turn 6, and if at that point, unless I have like a clear path to victory, if anyone's like, hey, should we just shuffle up and try again? I'd say absolutely. What I'm going for isn't working. It's been 6 turns and I have nothing to show for it. Let's try again.
I do feel like I played the other day with Cole, Quinn, and Charlotte, and it was like turn 6, and Charlotte had like popped off, and I feel like Cole was in a similar state where he's like, I'm not doing anything. Let's just go to the next one. So I can get that a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because, like, yeah, if like I'm sitting there like that day I played the Sliver deck, and I couldn't get like my colors, and like I was missing land drops. I was like, I'm good to whenever if someone like really takes off here, I'm fine to be out of this. I'm not doing shit to help y'all, so I get that.
I feel like we just glossed over my Alondra win.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Lazz,
I'm sorry. It was just a really good win.
It was. Yeah.
I had so many Drakes. I think I had like 8 or 9 Drakes.
Yeah, you had a lot. 'Cause you had a constant things out, so you were just making them every turn.
Yeah, they were 40/40s.
Yeah, you just kept having like it was the worst for me because like I had a nice setup turn where I like pumped out a bunch of wolves. They all had haste. I played Pyrowood Gearhulk, so like myself had vigilance and menace, and damage couldn't be prevented, so no fogs or Teferi protections were saving anybody. And I'm looking down the barrel of 2 guns. I have Alan across from me, who has zombies galore. He's pumping creature
flying
tokens out left and
zombies.
right. Yeah, flying death touch zombies. I look to my left, and I have Lazz, who has got 20 cards in hand, a Decantler of endless water that like wouldn't go away, and like 6 Drakes at that point. I'm just sitting there going, I'm just gonna spread my damage out, I guess. I don't fucking know. I really should just pull the trigger and try to kill somebody. Yeah. Because my stuff had vigilance and like I don't know.
I think I ended that game. I had 47 cards in hand.
Yeah. Which, hey, I'm just saying, you
That's a
won
record.
after I upgraded it.
You added 5. No, hold on. Cody's like, oh, I hope you don't mind. I made some changes to your laundry deck. And I'm like, sweet. He's like, yeah, I did like 5, cuts and adds. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, what'd you add? It's like, I don't know. It was a while ago. So I go through the history. You added 4 islands. That was it. You didn't add any additional cards. You added 4 islands.
You had like 34. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, and I can't believe that made it through the first episode. But back in the first episode, we said crazy things. Like I said, cycling was a bad mechanic. Look at me now. I love cycling.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes. Thank you for adding those 4 islands. I don't know where I would have been without that.
Hey, that's 4 more islands you drew that game. So,
but that was a hefty win.
Yeah,
to swing out.
You had to work for it because you and Alan were going back and forth with like he had just enough blockers to get you every time,
and he had a wonder in the graveyard.
Yeah,
and I'm playing mono blue, so it's like, well, that's just there forever then, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I have all these huge 40/40 flying drakes, and he's like, all right, well, I have all these 2/2 flying death touch zombies. It's like, well, shit. Like, I don't have trample. I don't have a way to get rid of flying for you. So I thankfully I have the 40 cards in my hand. I had, what was it? Flood of Recollection.
Yeah, you had some spell that could like bounce
just
non-blue
bounce all creatures of certain color, or all return all non-blue creatures to the owner's hand.
The worst part
is like
that you're playing it on Moxfield, and I could tell because there was a moment where Lazz got dead silent, and he was like, "I'm looking through the cards," because when you have like more than 20 cards in hand on Moxfield, those fuckers get tiny, and you gotta like
so small
comb through, and I could tell that in that moment, Lazz was like, "What the fuck is in my hand? Like, just too many cards."
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, once you get past like 30 cards in hand, you can't rearrange them anymore. So like normally it's like I keep all my lands on one side, I was trying to keep all my instants on the other side, and like I couldn't move any of the cards anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm literally scrolling through a tiny little like 1/16 of an inch sliver of a card to see what I have in hand. I'm like, I thought I had an answer for this. I could have probably won the turn earlier because I had that card, but
yeah,
whatever.
Well, it was a good deck. Definitely think that's one. I know you did. You like proxy it or something like that.
I did proxy it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one to have in paper. I think I mean, it's our first ever deck we covered, and like it's just cool.
I still have to get the tokens printed up of Drake. Or are we not doing Drake anymore? I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if we're doing Drake anymore. I think he got himself canceled out of there.
We'll see.
We'll see. You gotta get like Kendrick Lamar like dunking on him tokens.
No, that's not as cool.
It's not as cool.
I just want different pictures of Drake. Champagne Poppy.
Champagne Poppy.
All right, well, we're not here to talk about my epic winning streak. We're here to talk about one of my decks that I have built years ago. I built this deck, and I have a very bad habit of building decks and then just being like, well, that deck's good forever now. And so this is another iteration of what we did with Edgar Markov, where we kind of put it on the show and Cody made some cuts and adds and we discussed it because there's been a lot of sets that have come out, a lot of cards, and power creep's a real thing. So there's some cards that just have better versions of them, or this is a deck I've played many times, and it's just gets to the point where it's like, well, you know what? I've seen you play it 10 times, and this has never worked the way you wanted it to, so why is it in there? And so today we're going to talk about Grismold, the Dreadsower, which is one of my favorite decks. I love playing this guy. I'll read the card real quick. It is 1 black and a green for a legendary troll shaman. It's a 3/3 with trample. It says at the beginning of your end step, each player creates a 1/1 green plant creature token. Whenever a creature token dies, put a 1/1 counter on Grismold the Dreadsower. I love this deck. This is probably the only deck I do have though that I rule 0 at tables.
Yeah, you're very nice with this deck because like anytime like anyone want to play tokens, okay, cool. I'm gonna play Griswold if no one's gonna do tokens, and like you're
The
very good
whole
about that
deck is killing
because
tokens, so
you could
I'm
be a
not
real
gonna be a
nasty
dick.
bitch, Lazz. You could
I
be a real
could.
nasty bitch, but you choose. You're like, hey, I don't want to be that guy. So
No, because like I said, I want everyone. If by turn 6 I'm not doing my thing, I'm hoping someone else is. If no one's doing the thing by turn 6, then it's like, all right, let's scoop and try again. So I give everyone a fair chance. So if someone's like, no, I'm playing a token deck, I'm not gonna say, well, I'm playing my token hate deck, so let's see what happens. Like it's just
Lazz is trying to
not
be the
how I like
opposite
the
of
deck.
that guy at the LGS that everyone hates.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I feel, thank you for saying something. I feel like I try my best to say like I don't think I played this didn't I bring this down to Atlanta? I think I brought this to Atlanta.
I think you did, and we never
and I didn't
because
play
we
it.
only played 3 games. I don't think I don't think you got to play it. But yeah, I think in that I could definitely see you being like, "Hey, I'm playing tokens. Cool. No. All right." Yeah, I like this deck a lot. It's probably one of my favorite decks to see you play. Yeah, I like that we're kind of this was the original back in the day when we were Brewer to Screw It. We started the Brew Review series, which eventually now became our actual name, to look at decks that we had built that needed a little bit of a punch up or like, just it's been time. So so I'm glad that we're kind of doing this again because it's been a while since we did one of these. Usually it's every try to do a new deck, but I like that we're doing this.
Well, and it's a deck that I still regularly play, so you know what? Maybe I should have cards that are newer than, Core Set 21 or whatever the hell.
Double Masters, Chatterfang's in there.
I do have
Double Masters
in
2
there.
or something like that. I can't remember.
Modern Horizons, I think, right?
Yeah. So when we talked about this deck, I was like, what are you looking to do? You're like, well, my biggest thing is protection for Grismold. I think I need more of it. And then something I think both of us just struggle with is like better card draw in our decks.
Right.
Which is, there's the whole reason you built a Laundress because you wanted to draw more cards.
Yeah. Boy howdy.
So yeah.
Because this deck is good, but like I said, it needs more protection because the bread and butter of this deck is the commander. Like the commander gets enormous, and then it has trample just built right into it. So I did not want to make a Voltron type deck. I don't think I have any. I might have like 1 or 2 pieces of equipment in here, but the commander gets big and scary. So it's like I need constant protection for him.
You definitely aren't doing Voltron, but you do have a commander that like you do try to win through like either commander damage or like aristocrats or like a little bit of a I think you have a couple combo pieces in here, but I don't think you've ever like there's the Pitiless Plunderer, that with Chatterfang can go infinite, like we've seen it with Mike's Chatterfang deck. But I don't think you're like really going for those. It's more of like if it happens, it happens. You're mainly trying to win by either punching people in the face with Grismold or just like slowly burning a table with like Blood Artists and Zulaport Cutthroats, things like that.
Which even that, when you're asking what I'm looking to do with the deck, I was thinking like maybe get rid of some of the Blood Artist effects. I don't want this to be a deck that wins like that because that's not how I built the deck. That's not how I really want to win with like little pings here and there. So, they're in
Good
there.
To know now in the middle of the show.
In the middle of the show, but like, well, because you sent the cuts and ads, and I'm like, oh, I should have said something about Blood Artist. I see Blood Artist is still there. I was like, whatever. Like, that can stay.
I think it's a nice secondary thing because when
the deck's going, it happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean, where Grismold is, like, it's gonna eat some removal. So if you can, if you're still giving out these tokens, if you can just kind of ping people down, it's a nice closer. I think that's an okay thing to have in these kind of decks. You kind of want a way to like pinch out the win when you need it. So yeah. Why don't we do a little deck breakdown?
Okay. We really need
Um,
audio drops. Breakdown.
deck breakdown.
Go on
So
Fiverr. We'll find someone.
I'll see what I can do. We have 24 creatures, including our commander, 1 planeswalker, which we always love to see, 10 sorceries, 9 instants, 9 artifacts, 12 enchantments, and 35 lands. A little lower, but this was a back in the day deck. I think we've improved over time. Which is funny because I definitely remember me, you, and Nick. It was at one night after we got done playing. You were like, "How do I fix Grismold? I don't feel like it's doing enough." And we started going through it. And I think both Nick and I were like, maybe like 1 or 2 more lands. Because I think maybe back then you had 34, and you were like, "I'm gonna put 1 more land in." I feel like I remember this text conversation like a year or 2 ago.
It could be. While going through this deck, because Cody started working on it and was working off my Moxfield list, and I was like, hey, just as a heads up, I'm not sure how up to date that Moxfield list is. And thankfully it was pretty up to date, which is also kind of bad, which means it's been about 2 years. So in the last 2 years, how many changes did I say were made to the deck? I think there was only 2 changes.
Yeah, I think you added 2 creatures.
So there's been 2
years.
There's been 2 changes in the last 2 years. But while I was going through the actual physical deck and making sure it was up to date, I'm like, there's no way I have this many enchantments in this deck, right? Like I have almost as many enchantments as I do creatures. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah. I feel like a similar thing happens to me with like instants and sorceries. Like a couple early drafts of Kratos and Atreus was very instant and sorcery, and I was like, why do I have so many of these? I should not have this many. So it happens to me because it's just like, oh, these are cool cards, and like I can play it instant speed. But no,
I love it.
I totally get it.
I think why I like this deck is because I've said before, my favorite cards are enchantments. I love enchantments. But as soon as you say that, everyone's like, oh, build an enchantress deck. I'm like,
say, you don't have one.
No, but because that's not what I want. Like, I like enchantments because they do cool things to the board state. Like I'm not trying to get big off of my enchantments. Why I like this deck so much is, which I guess if we haven't come out and say it, the whole point of the deck is to make as many tokens as possible for me and for everybody else, and then kill tokens. That's the whole point of the deck, is to kill as many tokens as I can.
Yeah.
And so that's why I like, this deck, is because I have so many enchantments in here that only care about killing tokens and care about killing creatures. And it's just, I love the static effects that enchantments provide. And I feel like, I don't know, unless maybe I have to do more research into enchantress decks. Maybe there is one that cares more about like these static effects, but I've seen Nick try to play him a couple times. I've seen you play. I think you built an enchantress deck once, right?
I've had a few. I had auras, and then I had Gilwain, and I've never had like I think of most enchantress deck. I feel like try to really, the point of them is to like draw a bunch of cards and then build like either a big creature, but there's nothing that's just like cares about like having some cool effects on the board.
Yeah, I just like these are static effects that are on the board. So, and we'll go through them a little bit more when we go through the breakdown here.
Yeah.
Breakdown over here.
Lazz, what are some of your favorite cards in the deck? Why don't we go there next?
Okay. I'm glad you asked.
You can start with the creatures.
Yeah, we'll start with the creatures. I will say, for what I'm trying to do in the deck, some of my favorite creatures in the deck are Massacre Girl. Absolutely love Massacre Girl in this deck, because at the end of every end step, I'm giving everybody a 1/1 green plant token. And I have other cards in this deck that give tokens to my opponents and stuff like that. And I've had Massacre Girl just go off before as a board wipe in the most fun way. It's 3 generic black and a black for a 4/4 human assassin with menace. When Massacre Girl enters the battlefield, each other creature gets -1 until end of turn. Whenever a creature dies this turn, each creature other than Massacre Girl gets -1 until end of turn. So I've had this just kind of domino before where everything gets -1 I kill all the tokens. Everything else gets -1 I kill all the 2/2s. Then everything else gets -1, and like just kind of I've ripped through the board before just with Massacre Girl, and it's just such a fun way to board wipe. That's a card that I just really like.
Yeah. There's in Hearthstone, there's a card called Defile. And whenever I saw Massacre Girl, I was like, oh shit, it's Defile on a card. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it does the same thing where it's just like pew, pew, pew,
pew. Massacre Girl is from War of the Spark. So around that time I was still playing Hearthstone. And that's one of the reasons that I really liked it, because there was a card that you combined that with. What is it, like the Grim Patron?
Yeah, it would start making a ton of tokens.
Yeah, because every time it takes damage, then it deals damage but makes another copy of itself, and then it deals damage and makes another copy of it. Like there was a fun combo that you can get going with that, and that's really what Massacre Girl reminded me of. So that's a card that I really enjoyed in there. Who else? I really liked Massacre Worm. Massacre Worm's really fun.
It's a classic.
Classic 3 generic black. When it enters the battlefield, creatures your opponent's control get -2 till end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, that player loses 2 life. So that's just another fun way to kind of wipe the board and make everybody take a ton of damage. As far as creatures, Slaughter Specialist, 1 generic and a black for a 3/3 Vampire Warrior. When Slaughter Specialist enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Slaughter Specialist. I love those effects that just kind of grow my creatures passively for, just from being there. It's
like
just
a
other
miniature
creatures dying.
Grismold in a way.
Yeah. And let's see. So as far as like standouts, I just have just some fun ones. A Crow and Horse. It's just like 4 generic. When it enters the battlefield, an opponent gains control of it. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent puts a 1/1 white soldier creature token onto the battlefield. So just lots of ways to make sure everyone has a healthy supply of these tiny little tokens that eventually will die because of my enchantments, and all in the process growing Grismold to an insane size.
Yeah.
How about you? What creatures did you like from it?
Yeah, Yahenni. I love Yahenni. I've always thought about like making a commander deck around them or them. And so 2 generic and a black for Aetherborn Vampire with haste, 2/2. Whenever a creature opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter. Similar to Grismold. It cares less about tokens and more about just creatures. And then you can sack another creature. Yahenni gets indestructible until end of turn. So I really like that. And then a newer one. This is probably the newest addition to this deck is Vincent Valentine.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, it's a 2 generic black for a 2/2 assassin. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a number of 1/1 counters on Vincent Valentine equal to that creature's power. Whenever Vincent attacks, you may transform it. It transforms into the Galean Beast, a 3/2 werewolf beast with trample, lifelink. Whenever it dies, return it to the battlefield tapped. Face up.
I have no desire to ever transform it.
Why not?
Why?
Yeah,
it's just so much better in its Vincent Valentine form.
But it gets transferable on lifelink, so you have like this thing has like 7 counters on it. You have a 10 whatever, and
it doesn't keep the counters on it.
Yeah, it does.
No, it keeps the counters when it transforms.
Yeah. I
looked this up.
I looked this up. Yeah, because there was that Xenos from Final Fantasy 14. He has a flip card where he turns into that dragon, and I was like, if you flip him, does he keep counters and equipment on him? And everyone's like, yeah. And I was like, oh shit, that's really cool.
Really?
Yeah,
Ah,
it's like werewolves. Werewolves would keep. Well, I guess he is a werewolf, but you know what I mean. Like the Innistrad werewolves, like they keep counters on them when they flip.
now he's even better than I thought.
Yeah, so yeah. Um,
No
remember
other
when he
cards
came
cool on
out, you were
here.
like,
Oh,
should I just make this my Grismold? And I was like, no, keep Grismold. Grismold's cool. So
Grismold's
I'm
cool.
glad you did. He's a
I
cool
like
card in 99.
Clackbridge Troll.
Ooh, yeah.
Clackbridge Troll is a fun card. It's 3 generic, a black and a black for an 8/8 troll with trample and haste. So he comes out super quick, and he's an 8/8 trace, trampledy hasty boy. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 3/01 white goat creature tokens. At the beginning of combat on your turn, any opponent may sack a creature. If a player does, tap Clackback Troll. You gain 3 life and draw a card. So I don't know if I've ever actually hit anybody with this card,
Yeah.
but I've definitely had it come out and given someone 3/01 white goat creature tokens, and they're just like, yeah, I'll sack a token. And then it's like, all right, I gain 3 life, I draw a card, and Grismold now gets a 1/1 counter on him. And it just kind of pulls double duty. It's a nice, it's a good blocker to have out there, but it's also, a nice enabler to let me force people to sack their tokens.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think it's a really good, solid list of creatures. Moving on to sorceries. Anything kind of nice in here you want to see?
Um, I'd say one that I've never gotten it to work, but man, if it ever does, I'm ready for it. Is fungal sprouting, 3 generic and a green. Put X 1/1 green sapperling creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. There's been no exaggeration. There's been times where I've played Grismold where he's like a 30/30. Like he gets
Yeah.
insanely big if he's not taken care of. So just the idea of playing something and being like, all right, I'm going to make 30 1/1 green sapperling creature tokens. And once we go through, maybe we should have started with enchantments. If I have certain enchantments out, they all kind of die instantly. It's like, all right, I just made my guy a 30/30 and plus whatever other effects I have in the deck for creatures dying. That's kind of fun.
Well, I think
And
outside of
yeah,
creatures, like sorceries is where your first like kind of instances of like negative stuff happening because you have massacre and golden demise, which
demise.
give
Yeah,
-2 each. So this is kind of like outside of the creatures where it kind of first pops up.
Massacre's a fun card. If an
Yeah,
opponent controls a plains and you control a swamp, you may play Massacre without paying its mana cost. So technically, there's a chance it could be a free spell,
yeah,
which
I
is
like that.
fantastic. And all creatures get -2 till end of turn. That's just a lot of fun. That's just a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
I like that. So I like that it kind of like it's almost made for this deck in a way. So I like that
Mm-hmm.
one a lot. Um, Golden Demise, 1/2 black, has Ascend. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. If you have the City Blessings, only creatures your opponent control get -2/-2. So really good. Can get done pretty easily because you're making tokens as much.
Yeah,
So
and if you go through the creatures list, there's only like 2 creatures that I have that will die from, maybe 3 creatures that will die from the -1, -1, or -2, -2. So,
mhm.
and that was kind of made that way that I wouldn't really be hit by some of these effects these general, like these wide sweeping effects for the board. I kind of, a lot of my creatures will skirt past that, and they'll just, even if it doesn't say, creatures your opponents control, even if it's an all creatures thing, they'll still, for the most part, be able to get by unscathed.
Yeah. Outside of that, you got your basic ramp. You cultivate nature's lore, explore, close vegetation. And you got Sylvan Offering, which I like because like it's a way to like make a bunch of tokens on someone's board that you can kill with one of your enchantments,
Mm-hmm.
or just one of your negative effects in the deck. Moving on to instants, got our basic removal and abrupt decay, crossing grip, tragic slip. Any other
Love Tragic
standouts here?
Slip.
Tragic Slip's good.
I like Bloodline Culling. Target creature gets -5 till end of turn, or creature tokens get -2 till end of turn. So it's good if I have a lot of tokens out there, or if there's a problem creature out there. I like the -5. Kind of gets past a lot of indestructible and things like that.
Yeah.
What else? And Sizzat's Will. How would you say that? Zat's Will. Zat's Will.
The S is partly
Fortune Air
silent.
and a black. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. Each opponent sacrifices a creature they control with the greatest power. Always fun. And then exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. Then create X01 black throw creature tokens, where X is the greatest power among creature cards exiled this way. This is, like I said, it's just a fun way making people create all these dinky little creature tokens that, even if they don't die, they can't do anything. What are people going to do with these 01 black creature tokens? Either they're going to die from my enchantments, or they're just going to use them as, fodder to chump block stuff. Either way, it doesn't matter. Grismold's getting big the whole time.
Yeah, I guess that's something we kind of skipped over the part of this. Like, so many times when you play in this deck, you give us these plant tokens, and like we're just like, well, these are just free blockers. But then you're just like slowly ticking up that counter on Grismold. It happens so often. Like, even when we played this,
what's Grismold?
against,
he's a 1919. Like, when did that happen?
Yeah, we were playing against. You played this against Cole and Quinn one time. And
yes, I did.
We were just doing it, and I was like, well, shit. So yeah, it got. You were like a 13-13 by like turn 5. So yeah,
that's doing my thing before turn 6. That's not a game that I would say let's shuffle up and play another one real quick.
I really like Plumb the Forbidden in here because it's like a really nice way that you can, like, if you have a ton of tokens out, you could just draw a shit ton of cards and like refill your hand. So I really like that. It's 1 and a black and additional cost to cast a spell. You may sacrifice 1 or more creatures. When you do, copy it for each creature you sacrifice this way. You draw a card and lose 1 life. So you have 5 tokens out, sack 5. You paid 2 mana and 5 life to draw 5 cards. That's pretty worth it.
And so that's a card that kind of, and I have a couple of those in here that kind of do double duty, because there's been times where I've played this deck where I don't get any of my enchantments out that kill tokens. And then I'm just giving people all these tokens, and yeah, they can use them as chump blockers, but, what am I going to do with a bunch of 01s? I need ways to kill tokens if there's not a sweeper effect out there. So I like cards like this where, all right, for some reason, I have 5 of these plant tokens that, are still just surviving, and people aren't blocking them because they don't want them to die and have Grismold get bigger. I like cards that kind of let me just sack them, myself.
Yeah, I like that. Anything else in Instance you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah. Artifacts, you have your basic ramp with your Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, Golgari Signet, Commander Sphere. I know you said you're not doing too much Voltron, but you do have a Darksteel plate in here to give Grismold Indestructible.
Indestructible. Why not give Grismold Indestructible?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no.
What's the Golgari Signet doing in here?
Hey,
I had that bad boy sneak in.
I don't know. For someone who hates signets, you had it in here, and I went, I'm not gonna say anything.
I don't know.
Well, hey, maybe one of my additions you can replace the signet with.
Maybe.
I think
Ozolith
the 3
is in here. I love the Ozolith.
Yeah, I'm about to say the 3 standout artifacts: the Ozolith, so you can keep your counters from Grismold. Skull Clamp, great way to draw cards. You have all these 1/1 tokens you're making. Just clamp them. Give them the old clamp.
Clamp them.
Ashnod's Altar, a very scary card. Is fun.
Yeah. Pay 0, sack a creature, add 2 colorless mana.
Yeah. But it's a good use. I mean, it makes sense to have because it's a nice way to, get a good little chunk of mana. If you have tokens out and Grismold's gone, this pays for commander tax. Pays for commander tax. So I like it.
Then why'd you cut it?
Or do I?
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
And then this is the meat and potato section right here. Your 12
Mhm.
enchantments.
I cannot believe I have so many enchantments in this deck, but it calls for it.
It calls for it.
Let me go. I'll just go through all of them real quick, just real quick. I'll go alphabetically because that's how Moxville decides I should read these. I have Death Reap Ritual. It has Morbid. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died this turn, you may draw a card. Like I said, card draw is one of the biggest things I'm looking for in the deck. And so if I have kind of just sweeper effects out there that kill these tokens on sight, it's a good way to just be drawing cards on everyone's end step. I have Eternal Thirst. I've never gone to put this on Grismold, but that's the dream. Well, generic and a black. Enchanted creature has lifelink, and whenever a creature an opponent control dies, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. I would love for that to go on Grismold. Just give it lifelink, and then give it the ability to get 1/1 counters. Yeah. And speaking of double counters, let's put Hardened Scales in the deck. If one or more 1/1 counters be put on creature control, that many +1 1/1 counters are put on it instead. Solid addition.
Makes sense to have, yeah.
Here we go. This is a very important one. Illness in the Ranks. It's just a single black mana. Creature tokens get -1, -1. Here's where we start getting into like the more important enchantments here. If you have this out there, all those plant tokens die on sight. All those 0/1 goat tokens or whatever other tokens I'm giving out are just dying on sight. It's a nice static effect that stays out there. It only affects creature tokens, so for the most part, people might not be so willing to spend removal on it. If they're not playing a token deck or something like that. It's that's a sneaky good card. Nice 15-cent card that pays dividends. Am I just stealing the spotlight here by going through all the enchantments here?
Did you want to? This is your deck, Yeah,
it is. Moldravine Reclamation, 3 generic, black and a green. Whenever a creature you control dies, gain 1 life, draw a card. If I'm making all these tokens and they just die on sight, I'm gaining life and drawing cards. This is another fun one. Knight of the Soul's Betrayal. 2 generic, black and a black. All creatures get -1, -1. Just nice static effects. That's why I have so many enchantments. Just these nice static effects. Let's see. Got Phyrexia Arena here. I need to change the language of it real quick. The version I have is in Phyrexian. Beginning of your upkeep, draw a card, lose a life. Boring. But it's needed. Primal Vigor. 4 generic and a green. If 1 or more tokens would be put on the battlefield, twice that many of those tokens are put on the battlefield instead. If 1 or more 1/1 counters would be placed on a creature, twice that many 1/1 counters are placed on a creature instead. That is a great card. That does
a lot of
double work.
Yeah.
This one is... I don't know if I should keep it in the deck. It's gonna work eventually. Is Revel in Riches.
Yeah.
I see you shaking your head. Like, I
it's greedy.
Don't know if you cut this card or not.
Is the point of the card, you're hoarding treasure. Revel in Riches is a 4 generic and a black for whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, create a colorless treasure token. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, you win the game. I can definitely see it happening. It's just like, it's 5 mana, and it's gonna eat removal. Like, all win cons are like always so like, man, I want this to happen, but like it's like Strixhaven Stadium. Like, you want it to go off, but when the times it does is like very slim.
This is never gonna happen. But you know what? It eats enchantment removal. I'd rather someone remove this than Illness in the Ranks.
Yeah.
The creature tokens get -1,
-1. Play, but I really want to see it one day. Seed the Land. 2 generic, 2 green. Whenever a land comes into play, its controller puts a 1/1 green snake creature token into play. I haven't seen that one come out yet in your deck, but like, it's kind of cool. I don't know. I like
That's
it.
very cool. So this next card I'm gonna read. Well, I'll just read the last one before it. Is Virulent Plague. 2 generic and a black. Creature tokens get -2, -2. You're sensing a theme.
Yeah.
This other card. This card is how I found the commander, because this card came out in. This is what set is that? That's
Midnight
the
Hunt?
bad set, Midnight Hunt.
Yeah.
And I was like, this card is
Bad set.
amazing. And it's the Meat Hook Massacre. When this card first was spoiled, I'm like, this card seems really good. I'm like, I wonder if there's a commander that can really take advantage of this. And it's spoiled on Reddit, and so like reading through the comments, someone's like, "Oh, Grismold loves this." Like, who's Grismold? And that's when that's where I found Grismold. I was like, "Holy crap, yeah, he does!" And that's why, I started digging deeper. And this is, I've said before that a lot of my decks are, I found a cool card. What's the commander that takes the most advantage of it? This is a prime example. This deck was built because Meat Hook Massacre was, revealed, and I was like, that's really cool. I want a deck that does that. So it is X, black and a black for an enchantment. When Meat Hook Massacre enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X till end of turn. Then it has whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you gain 1 life. This was just, I don't know. At the time, this card just tickled me. Like, I just really thought it was so cool and so much fun. And then because of this, I found Grismold, and I was like, oh, let's do that. Let's make a deck that cares about killing creatures on everyone else's board as much as possible. It's the easiest way to do that, and that's tokens. Killing people's tokens. Give them tokens and kill them.
Yeah, I think there's a reason it's a $20 card. It's still very good to this day. So.
It was man. When I bought it, it wasn't a $20 card. I'll tell you that. Actually, I didn't buy it. Nick and Creeps bought me that card.
Oh,
yeah, they came over to play Magic one weekend, and they're like, "Oh, we're swinging by the card shop to buy some stuff first." And then when they came, to the house, they're like, "Oh, thanks for letting me crash for the weekend. Bought you a gift," and gave me the Meat Hook Massacre. It's like, oh shit!
There you go.
Now I actually have to build the deck.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome.
Planeswalker 2.
Yes, we skipped over the Planeswalker.
Garruk, Cursed Huntsman. 4 generic, black and a green. Enters with 5 loyalty counters. You can +0 him to create 2 black and green wolf creature tokens. With when these creatures die, put a loyalty counter on each Garruk you control. You can -3, destroy target creature, draw a card. Or you can -6, get an emblem with creatures you control, have +3/+3, and trample. This was pretty much just put in for the fact that I can play him, +0 him to create those 2 tokens, hopefully kill them on sight, and then immediately my next turn, -6 him and to get the emblem for the +3/+3 and trample. But now, kind of like looking at it, my commander already has trample. I'm not really going wide, so I'm not sure how much the emblem really helps. But at the time, I just thought it was cool to kind of be able to ultimate a planeswalker that doesn't have a plus ability on him. And that's the deck.
Yeah, Lazz, I really like this deck. I started thinking like halfway through, I know he always asks, is anyone playing a token deck before he plays this? But maybe he does that on purpose to like make us not play the token decks so we don't overwhelm him, because you really are relying on just having Grismold out because you're killing everything else. But yeah,
so you're saying stop?
Maybe it's like a reverse psychology you're doing.
Hey, play a token deck when I play this. That's fine.
No, this would be worse than when you had Rurik Thar and I played that Gandalf deck, and I was just like, it was like turn 4, and I was like, I am fucked. I can't do anything. I can't play any spells.
Yeah, that was a bad call. Like
Yeah, I
that's
don't know
another
why I
deck that I
thought
roll
that.
0 a lot is Rorikthar. Like playing
Yeah.
this.
Anyone playing supposed to all right. Well, last when we talked about covering this deck, I was like, well, what are you looking for? You said you wanted card draw and more protection for Grismold. So
You
today
said
I
too
bring
damn
you.
bad.
I said too damn bad. You ain't getting shit. Um, Today I bring you 10 cuts and 15 ads. Where you want to start?
Let's go with the cuts.
Let's do the cuts. I'm gonna start with the creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so one of these is one that like I've had in a few decks, and every time I don't feel like it does enough. It is Arasta of the Endless Web. This is 2 generic green for a legendary enchantment creature spider, 3/5 with reach. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. I, as much as I hate spiders, love Arasta. I think it's a cool
Mm-hmm.
card. I feel like the issue is the second it hits the board, suddenly no instants and sorceries are in anyone's deck.
Yeah.
Somehow it happens every game with her, and it's just like. Also, I think there's just better cards out there to make better tokens for you to kill off. So I don't feel like this one really helps you too much. So
I like it, but especially in our pod, we don't run a lot of interaction. It seems sometimes, so it's
yeah,
like there's not a lot of instants and sorceries flying around.
yeah.
As there is maybe in the beginning turns with just like ramping up and stuff like that. But after the
That's the
initial
thing.
ramp,
If she was like 1 less mana, I'm on board with playing this
mm,
because it hits. We see explosive vegetation like every other game. It feels like. So I could see like if she's 3 mana, you slap it down on 3 by 4, you're at least getting a spider out of it. But when she comes out on 4, it's just sometimes not enough.
yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
So unfortunate, but goodbye, Arasta. Um, Next up is Beladros Witherbloom, which this is a tough one for me.
I
I
don't
do
like
like this
that
card.
cut. I like this
It's
card. It's
5
expensive.
generic, a black and a green for an Elder Dragon, 4/4 flying. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token. With when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. You can pay 10 life, untap all lands you control, activate only once each turn. That last part is the reason I'm like, I don't think it's worth running because I know too many people who play Beladros as like a combo enabler because you can untap your lands. And so I don't think I think you want this for the pest.
Mm-hmm.
But 7 mana to potentially get removed or countered is a lot. And you're not taking I don't feel like I feel like I've seen you play this and you never really take advantage of like the untapping lands thing
You're right.
except to like maybe play 1 extra spell. I feel like Beladros really is like a combo enabler because you can get your lands going again.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're paying 7 mana just to make a pass on each upkeep. I think there's you can find other avenues for that. I don't think it makes sense here. It is a cool card. Don't get me wrong. I think I messaged you one time. I was like, should I make a Beladros deck? And you were like, no.
Yeah, Beldros is cool, but no, I could see that, and it is kind of hard to pay 10 life sometimes when you're playing a deck that's not life gain.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's kind of you're only really taking advantage of 1/2 of this card, if that makes sense. So
Okay,
um,
and it's expensive, 7 mana.
yeah. And like I said, by turn 6, you're not doing anything.
Hey, if I can't play my Beldros Witherbloom, I'm shuffling up and playing another
I'm
one.
shuffling up and playing another one. Next up is Verdant Force. This is 5 generic green, 7/7 elemental. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token. Verdant Force is a cool ass card.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has gone the way of. It's kind of been outsped in this day and age.
Yes, yeah.
You could
8 mana.
throw in like a Shrufus and play Shrufus, that little dude who makes
Yeah.
sapperlings when he hits. Find ways to pump him a little bit, But yeah, I don't know. I felt like this one was a little slow for what I think you were wanting, and I wanted to cut a few of like the bigger stuff to make way
Hmm.
for like smaller stuff to fit in. So this is just one I kind of thought would be easier. This was also, as I said before, you told me mid show you don't want the aristocrats portion, so I was like, well, shit.
Mm.
I would have just cut some more of those instead. But yeah,
No, that's an expensive card. That's a lot of mana to commit for an effect
yeah,
that by 8 mana I should already be doing my thing.
yep.
You know.
Um, Next up, last creature is Zulaport Cutthroat. I did cut this one because I have a straight up replacement for you in my ad section, so we'll get to that one later. One
Okay.
and black for 1/1. Whenever it or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So, it's a standard aristocrat card. I like the Blood Artist better
Hmm.
because Blood Artist you can point, and I find that there are times where like, yeah, you're giving stuff -1, -1, -2, -2, but we play a lot of big stompy decks, so that 1 damage pointing at a creature can really matter. And now that I'm saying that, can Blood Artist target creatures? It's anything, right? Oh no, it is just target player. Never mind. I apologize. I would have messed that up. But sometimes it's important to get that 1 damage on a certain person. Send a message. So I like
That's
Blood
about
Artist better
sending a
for that.
message.
It's about sending a message. So yeah, I have I think a better one for you in the ad section. So we'll get to that one.
Okay.
I only have one artifact that I cut, and it is Ashnod's Altar, which I know I said, man, such a good card for this deck. Here's the
Mm.
issue. Is Lazz, I've seen you play this card twice, and each time the table's reaction goes, oh, fuck, we gotta kill that. Which is a fair thing to say to an Ashnod's Altar because it's a combo piece. And I don't think you
Right.
want a combo.
I'm
So
not
why have
comboing.
the You're not comboing. So why have the combo piece in there is my
If it eats the
justification.
removal, though, like.
It does eat the removal. That's fair. That's fair.
But
I
no,
don't know.
I could see this just because I'm not playing a lot of art. I'm not playing a lot of other artifacts and stuff. So colorless
Yeah.
mana doesn't help in this deck as much as I would like it to.
Yeah. I don't feel like you have a. It really would be straight up to pay commander tax. I feel like there's not. You don't have a lot of like. You do have one sorcerer, I think. Tend the Pest, or it's an instant. No, never mind. Tend the Pest is just two. I thought you had like an X spell in here that was like do something, but you don't really have any X spells. So
I
yeah, I
had the
don't feel
one
like
X
you're.
spell in there. Where'd it go?
Do you? Did I
I
cut it?
do.
I might have cut it. Oh, you have Meetup Massacre,
Yeah.
but that's not really like because you can pump X into that as many times as you want, but like it's not really like super good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like it's not like super needed because usually like you're already giving stuff -1 or -2, so really you're just trying to get that extra like two
Sylvan
minuses on
Offering,
something.
too.
You do have Sylvan Offering, which could make a ton of creatures. So I don't know. I think it is a good card. I don't think it's good for the deck
Okay.
because you already have ways to kill your tokens or kill creatures. And this just kind of, like I said, I'm mainly basing it on the 2 times I've seen it played. Every time the table freaks out, and it's like, I think you like playing the sneaky, like slowly build up Grismold, and then when it's too late for people to do anything, swing them out. So
I have a Phyrexian altar, so I could sacrifice him and get a bunch.
you could do that.
I could do that.
I have one instant, and it is Bloodline Calling. Mainly because I feel like you had already had some better effects of like the -2/-2 in the Massacre and the Golden Demise. So I was like, well, you already got 2 of that effect. You really need a third. I do like the modality of it where you can just try to pick a creature to have -5/-5. But I think I did have like a straight up. I do have a straight up, I think, better
Card.
version of this
Okay.
in my upgrades. So I think we'll talk about that. So that was my reason for that one. I know we just talked about it, but only one enchantment. Eternal Thirst.
I like Internal Thirst, man.
I
Eternal
do
Thirst.
too. As someone who straight up has had this in a deck, sometimes it just doesn't do anything because out of nowhere, suddenly people are like, "Well, I'm not letting my creatures die. Too bad."
Yeah, but people don't have the choice, you know. And I got these enchantments out there, and pretty much everyone makes a green plant token. Up, they all die upon entering the battlefield, and then Grismold just gets 4. Every at the end of every turn, I'll gain 4.
yeah,
We'll see.
I don't know.
We should
That
start
was a
doing
tougher
10
one.
ads, 15
You
cuts.
had 12 enchantments, and I might have a few addition of enchantments. So I was really just trying to get
Okay.
the enchantment cut back. I
Get the
like your other
enchantment.
enchantments.
Okay.
I have 2 sorceries, explosive vegetation. I feel like if you're gonna have ramp, you could go either 3 visits. I don't think you need the 4 mana ramp in this deck because Grismold comes out on 3, and on turn 4, I think you're more looking to play like the Knight of Souls Betrayal. You're looking to play Seed the Land, like
Yeah.
something like that. So if you're gonna play ramp, I think the 2 mana ramp is more important here because if you do 2 mana ramp on turn 2. Turn 3, play Grismold. Turn 4, you can play a turn 4 play or a turn 5 play. So, if you're hitting all your
Makes
land drops.
sense.
So, yeah, I just didn't think it made sense in the deck. And then I did cut Sylvan Offering because while the 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens make sense to give somebody kill, that caveat of the XX green tree folk is tough because, as we know, people on our pod cannot be trusted. You can't hand someone a loaded gun in our pod because they're gonna fucking shoot you with it. So if you give someone an XX green tree folk, they're gonna find a way to throw it at your face. So
That's fine. I
that
have
was
a
my
30/30
reasoning.
Grismold to block with it.
Hey, I mean,
If he has
that
vigilance
could be
somehow.
something. So that was my reasoning. I don't feel like you can trust people with that. And then the last cut is
Why?
Galuk, the Curse
Why?
Huntsman. I just didn't think it I feel like you want your own tokens to die too. So giving your stuff +3/+3 and trample really
Makes my tokens
negates what you're
harder to
going
die.
for. Unless you suddenly if you suddenly wanted this to be I want to kill everyone else's tokens, but my tokens stay alive so I have more blockers or something. I could get that. I do think this is a cool group, but once again, I have a 1-to-1 trade for you in the addition section, so we can go over that in a second. I just didn't. I like this group. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if it fits for the deck.
Okay. We'll find a new home for him.
Yeah, I definitely think you could. He's legendary. You can find him home in that legendary Golgari deck you have.
Ooh.
So
my Cleopatra.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well,
so those are my cuts.
Let's start
How
easy.
we feeling?
It makes a lot of good points. Some of them are a little hard just because I've had the deck for so long, so it's kind of hard to say like, oh, what are your pet cards? And it's like, well, I've been playing this deck for the last 4 years, so all of them, it's kind of hard to do that. But let's see some of the additions, and then
all right,
then I'll have a better idea. Start with the Planeswalker because you said you had
let's
a
go
1
straight
for
the
1.
Planeswalker. So this is, I know, one of your favorites. It is Vraska, the Golgari Queen.
I love Vraska,
2 generic
Golgari Queen.
Yeah, 2 generic, black and a green for legendary Planeswalker Vraska. Comes in with 4 loyalty. You may +2 it to sacrifice another permanent. If you do, gain 1 life, draw a card. Right away, card advantage. Something you told me you wanted more of in the deck. So I was like, cool, that's great. -3, destroy target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less. Great way to blow up an annoying Soul Ring. Someone's ramped too much. Blow up their commander that's like 3 mana.
Arcane Signet.
Yeah, fuck that Arcane Signet. And then, of course, I think the real thing that you'd love is that -9. You get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game.
See, you're cheating here because I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's a good 1/1 trade with Garruk Planeswalker because at -9, say all right, this enters with 4, so then I +2 it.
Mhm.
That's one turn. We're at 6. I +2 it again. Now we're at 8. I +2 it again. We're at 10, and then I -9 it. So that's 4 turns. This has to stay out there before I get that emblem. So it's like it seems very hard to play in a non-proliferation deck. With that said,
Yes.
Guilds of Ravnica was my intro set to Magic, and I remember the first time my friend played this, I was like, "Wait, what do you mean? I just lose the game if that happens?" It's like I remember seeing this for the first time and being blown away, and like ever since it's like that's an awesome Planeswalker. That is, that's a card I would love to play around. And is it worth the swap? I don't know.
So
It's hard to tell.
here is a big thing that's changed about my philosophy on Planeswalkers. So last episode I recorded with Charlotte, and we talked about Planeswalkers and why they are not being allowed as commanders. It's because that they decentivize attacking opponents. So if you have this Vrask out, you're going to +2 it right away. You're going to sack a token and draw a card. Grismold gets bigger. Now you've put your opponents on a clock of, okay, well, we now have 3 turns to deal with Vraska, or he is going to get that emblem, and if Griswold even gets a 1 point damage to, we lose the game. So now you have people not hitting you, they're going for Vraska. So you're saving your life total by doing that. The other thing is, if you +2, you're now up to 6. You can start doing that -3, and be like, oh, hey, I'm not that big of a threat. I'm not gonna get the -9 yet, but you can just blow up like small pieces of artifacts or creatures here or there. So I don't know. Versus Garruk, your biggest thing is either getting the tokens or getting that emblem that gives your stuff trample.
I'm not gonna lie. I've had the Garruk out before, and I've opted to not do the emblem because then my tokens won't be dying. So it is a little counterintuitive there to get that emblem. I just like the fact that I got an emblem. It's so hard to get emblems.
I think everyone loves that. Everyone's like, I just want to ultimate the fucking Planeswalker once, and then I'm good. That's all I want.
Even if it's just, to my own detriment, I want to do it.
So no, I get it. But that's my 1-to-1 trade, Planeswalker for Planeswalker.
Okay. Hey, so I've been looking for an excuse to play Vraska Golgari Queen, so we'll try it.
There you go.
I have it. I can make the swap. I can do it right now if I want to.
Ooh. Next up, creatures. Only got 2. First up is Mirkwood Bats. This is 3 generic and a black for a bat, 2/3 flying. Now this is what I like. It's whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. So you create 4 tokens each end step. Even though they're coming under other people's control, you are creating them. This is 4 damage at least a turn while this is out. And it curves so well. I looked this up because I was like, "Holy shit, this is insane."
I wouldn't think about that.
Curves so well because you Grismold on 3, Mirkwood Bats on 4, instant 4 damage. People only got 10 more turns before they're dead. There's also, you do have a number of ways to sacrifice tokens in this. Plum the Forbidden, like we talked about. I think this is this is my 1-to-1 Zulaport for Mirkwood.
Okay.
Because I was like, it makes so much sense because you're creating tokens so much in the deck.
I would not think that it counts as creating 4 tokens. I would count this as 1 token.
Because the way Grismold is worded that at the beginning each player creates a 1/1 green plant token, it's because it's tied to Grismold that you. At least that's what I read. If I'm getting that wrong, viewer, please
let me know before I do this and look like an idiot out there.
At least that's what I read online. While Lazz searches it up, I will go on to my
I'm
next.
searching it real quick. Yeah.
My next one, you have Chatterfang, because the whole thing
Yes,
is
I
like
do.
double tokens. So Quina, Q Gourmet. This is 2 generic and a green for legendary creature Q, which I don't know what the fuck that is. Is 2/3. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus 1 a green frog creature token are created instead. So similar to Chatterfang, just getting double the tokens that you're going to get out.
I don't think it works that way.
Really, everything I read online said yes.
According to Reddit, Grismold has each player create their own token. Thus, you are not creating the tokens for the other players. They are.
Damn. All right.
You get 1 trigger as you will create 1 token off of Grismold.
Damn it.
You get 1 bat trigger for creating 1, but the other 3 don't work for you.
I was lied to, damn it. I think I was reading like an old forum post. Okay. All right. Well, we'll cut back in to me being wrong. Like 136. 3, 2, 1. So update.
You fucking idiot.
I was wrong. I was wrong about Mirkwood bats. Turns out the internet lied to me on some aspect, so I apologize. It only would deal 1 damage per plant token made, because Grismold says each player, not. So I was lied to. Damn it. So maybe Mirkwood bats not to play. I don't know. You still make a lot of tokens, and you sack tokens, so I still think it might be worth it to put in the deck.
Okay.
But you also said you don't want to do aristocrat stuff, so maybe don't. Anyways, back to
all right. So 10
Quina.
cuts, 14 ads.
Yeah, right. Back to Quina Q Gourmet. So just like Chatterfang, way to get more tokens out there by making the frogs, and then you can actually pay to sacrifice it. So it's another sack outlet on
From Mirkwood
a creature. So yeah, if you wanted to keep the Mirkwood bats around.
I like quinoa.
Quinoa? Is that what we're saying? We're saying quinoa?
That's how I'm saying it.
Okay. Oh, quinoa. Yeah, I just thought you've already got Chatterfang. Might as well throw another in there. It's a nice way to get more tokens to kill.
Absolutely. And they're small tokens too. Plus the sack outlet in case I don't have one of my sweepers out or one of my enchantments get removed. I'll still have the option to sack a frog. So that's good. I like it. And I like that I put the counters on him as well.
The other aspect of this is that Grismold does look like some people I've seen in the swamp down here of Louisiana. And so, they like their frog legs. So Grismold's eating his frogs. So. That was just a bit for me. Just to make myself laugh.
That one was just for me. That's not for the listener. That's just for me.
I don't even care. All right. Next up, we have 4 sorceries. So for Bloodline Calling, my 1/1 swap is, drumroll please, Mandate of Abaddon. 3 generic and a black. Choose target creature you control. Destroy all creatures with power less than that creature's power. You've gotten Grismold very big, and this is such a nice way. It's a one-sided, because you're killing probably some tokens on your side, and then you're killing everything else on everybody else's board. So really nice. From the Warhammer set, a little pricier at $4 on Mana Pool, but it's just a good board wipe for if you have a huge commander. So yeah, I like this one a lot. I have it in, I think I have it in Tavash because I get like the big demons out. So I like to just like target one of those and blow up everything else. So yeah, that's my 1/1 for Bloodline Calling.
Okay. No, I like that. My concern is that if I wipe my whole board, if I have like a 15/15 Grismold, there is a chance of me wiping my whole board, which might not be super duper ideal. But
I don't feel like you usually have too many creatures out. Because you're not running like a huge swath of creatures.
No, it's very small amount of creatures in the deck.
Yeah, so I think you'd be okay. I think it's worth it.
Okay.
All
Yeah, for
right.
Bloodline Culling, I think that's a good 1-for-1 though.
Yeah. Next up is a couple draw spells. Two I'm pretty high on. One I think is going to be hit or miss for you. The
Okay.
one hit or miss one is Shamanic Revelation. It is 3 green, draw a card for each creature you control. Like we just said, you might not have a lot of creatures out. So,
Yeah.
but it also has Ferocious. You gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Grismold is usually better than 4, so I think you're safe to at least gain 4 life there. I also know how much you love your life gain, so that's my hit or miss one. But I think if
Okay.
you somehow have a huge board of tokens, this is a nice way to just draw a good chunk of cards at one time.
I like this
Next up
other
is
edition better.
which one? Oh, Risk card
Uh,
expertise.
yeah.
Yeah. 4 generic
Yeah, that's
green.
the
Draw
one.
cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Like you said, Grizzle's big.
Ooh, he
Then you
gets
may cast
big.
a spell with
He
mana
gets
value
real
5
big.
or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Nice 2 for
That's
1.
great too.
It's 6 mana, but when you're playing it, you're probably going to drop something really good off of it. So I think it makes perfect
Yeah,
sense for this deck. Great for creatures that are
absolutely.
huge. And then
No,
the other one I
that's a good
have,
addition.
yeah, is Pitiless Carnage. This is 3 generic and a black for a sorcery. You sacrifice any number of permanents you control, then draw that many cards. But it has plot 1 black. So what you can do is you can exile this off to the side and then hold it for when you actually can use it. So let's say early on you're killing all the tokens on the board, but then someone farewells, blows up your enchantments that are killing stuff. But you start building up a little bit of tokens, you can play this from exile later and sack them and draw cards. So really
Yeah,
nice.
that's cool.
It is sorcery speed, but it's really nice just like to refill your grip later on in games.
Yeah, but that's great though. If someone gets rid of all those and then everyone just starts stocking up on tokens, then before my
Yeah.
attacks, I can cast this from exile for free, make Grismold real big, and then attack with trample. Yeah, I like that. That's a cool card.
Yeah. So those are the sorceries. 2 instants. We have Hunter's Insight, another draw spell. 2 generic and a green. Choose target creature you control. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards. Because Griswold has trample, it's a really easy way to trigger this. Thought it made sense for the
Yeah.
deck. Nothing flashy. Next up is Revitalizing Repast. This is one hybrid, black or green, for an instant. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It gains indestructible until end of turn, and it flips over into a land. I like these. I think it makes
Perfect.
perfect sense for this deck. You asked for more protection. I didn't really do too much
Yeah.
protection now that I look at this, but it's a nice. You either can use it for a land when you need it, or it's a nice. It's 1 mana to pretty much make Grismold indestructible. So the only way it's dying is
Which
by
is
exiling.
that's
So,
great. Yeah.
so yeah,
No, that's
I
a
like
good
that
one.
one.
I like that card.
Yeah.
It's only 84
Uh,
cents. That seems like it'd be more expensive. The fact that it's either a land
those
card or indestructible.
those MH3 MDFCs are hit or miss. Like I think a lot of the monocolored ones are like really expensive, but the dual colored ones aren't that bad. Depending on what you're
Yeah, but
doing.
it's
I
hybrid
like the
mana.
Demir one.
It's might as well. Like, whatever. I like it.
Yeah.
I'll see. Maybe I even have one.
You might. I think you've seen you play it in Cleopatra, but Cleopatra's an online deck, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
2 artifacts. One is Genesis Chamber, which I was really shocked this wasn't in the deck. It's
It
2
was. I
generic.
took it out.
There we go. 2 generic. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, if it's untapped, that creature creates a 1/1 colorless mirror creature token. Why did you take it out? Why did you? Well, was it not working? Or?
I feel like people weren't playing enough creatures. Like it just wasn't. It just wasn't happening that much. It was
So similar to the Erasta problem, where suddenly you had this out and no one was playing creatures. Okay, that's fair. So maybe
But
that one
no,
could go.
that should go in. It's 2 mana. I can put
Yeah,
it back in.
it's really cheap. I
I
think it's a
have it.
nice little thing.
Yeah. Just
Other one
tap.
is Idol of
Yeah,
Oblivion.
might as well.
Draw a card. After
We
end of
love
you
that
create a
card.
token this turn. Yeah, just easy card draw, especially in a deck where you're making tokens like this. You can technically activate it in your end step because you created a token in the end step. So there you go.
Now
And
here's the real part. Let's see these.
yeah,
This is my Enchantress deck.
yeah, your Enchantress deck. First up, I feel like I've recommended this in an earlier deck of yours this year, but Hollow Merc Siege. I love the seed cycle from Tarkir Dragonstorm. Green and a black for an enchantment. As it enters, choose Sultai or Abzan. Sultai has whenever a counter is put on this creature, draw a card. It only triggers once each turn, which I know you hate. Abzan, whenever you attack, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains menace until end of turn. So really, my first thought was the Sultai part of this, because if you don't have the -1 effects out yet, you have this out, you're on Sultai, but then people start blocking like we do with the plant tokens you're giving us. You're getting pretty much a card draw each turn because everyone's using their plant tokens to block with.
Well, even if my tokens, the tokens just die on entering the battlefield, I'll get, pretty much tired. Everyone makes a 2/2. Yeah, everyone make a, the 1/1 plant creature token. They all die on entering. I draw a card.
Yeah.
Ain't bad.
But the Abzan thing apart, this is also not bad because, giving Menace. I know you have Trample, but Menace is just an extra way to get in for combat damage. So, it could be effective late game for when you need to just kind of squeeze by some blockers. So,
it's giving Menace.
It's giving Menace.
I don't know why. It just sounds funny when you word it like that.
Next up is Infernal Genesis. This is a cool one that I stumbled on. I think you might.
It's an old card, so I love that right off the bat.
4 generic black for an enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player puts the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. He or she then put X 1/1 black minion creature tokens into play, where X is the card's converted mana cost.
First of all, politically correct ass card. Just
okay. We're covering all the bases here.
I'm so glad they got rid of the he or she put on the cards because it's just it makes the card so the card length so much longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
This is a cool effect, man. That's cool. I feel like people are gonna get salty as hell though.
Oh yeah. 100%. If you hit my 10 mana instant spell with this, I'm gonna be pissed because I know I make 10 1/1s. You're gonna kill them with your illness in the ranks.
I love that. It's just any card's CMC. It's not just like, all right, if a creature is exiled this way, they're put in the graveyard this way. It's any card. So yeah, instant sorceries, enchantments. It touches a lot of cards there. I like that. That's really cool.
And the best part, it's in their upkeep, so it's before they draw. So if you hit something that they really needed, it's like that extra little bit of salt to the wound.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. It's 6 mana. I think it does a cool effect for 6 mana. I think it's worth it. So that is Infernal Genesis.
That's a very cool card. I like that. That's definitely getting added.
Next up is Path of Discovery. This is 4 mana. Whenever a creature you control enters, it explores. Exploring is revealing the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, you put a 1/1 counter on the creature. Then put a 1/1, or then put the card back or into your graveyard. So this concludes tokens. So when you make a token every end step, it explores. You either get a land into your hand for next turn, or you put a 1/1 counter on it. But I believe because of if you have illness in the ranks out, the 1/1 counter would be negated, and it'll die. Because they would die before the counter can get put on it, I believe. That might be wrong. I might be wrong 2 times in this.
2 times in one episode?
2 times in one episode.
Top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on the creature. Then put the card back.
I think it would live, now that I'm thinking about it. because it would put the 1/1 counter on it before the Illness in the Ring. Would it take effect?
I don't know. Now I have to Google another one.
Yeah. The only downside of this card is I don't know if you really are big on revealing the top card of your library.
I am not.
I think it
had a
would
card in hand
live.
the other night that it was like play with the top card of your,
You get an
library
Oracle,
revealed.
and you refused to flip that top. I was like, "Hey, reveal that fucking card," and you refused.
Yeah, I was and then even another game besides that, I had a card in hand. It's like play with the top card revealed. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna play that. I don't need people to see my spice.
Just spice.
My spice is mine.
I don't know. I think this one's worth it just because of the amount of tokens you're making. But I can understand like not wanting to reveal the top card every time, and also just like you're kind of doing maybe the opposite of what you want to do with putting the 1/1 counter, but maybe not. Maybe you want those little plants to stick around. So
Those little guys.
those little guys. And then last up, I have one land to suggest. It is Forbidden Orchard. You can tap it for 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and then whenever you tap it, you put a 1/1 spirit creature token onto an opponent's battlefield. So it's a mana that taps for any color, which is always good. Makes a token, always good for this deck because you want to kill those tokens. So yeah.
That's cool.
Also,
I like that.
Up your land count. Goddamn, 34. What are you doing? 35. I apologize. 35.
All right, so that brings me up to the 36. The Brew Review
And with the
prerequisite
MDFC,
36.
30 with that MDFC, you got 37.
Yeah.
Look at that. I thought about it.
I might have to cut land soon.
Oh, whatever. So those are my additions. There were 2 fuck-ups in there. I will admit. I'm not on my game, apparently, when it came to these. So yeah.
No, I like some of these. They made some good points. Like Genesis Chamber should go back in. That's definitely going back in. That Infernal Genesis card's awesome. I really
cheap.
like that.
84 cents. Not bad.
84 cents. Revitalizing Repast. No, it's some good additions here. I like it. I can make these. I can do this. I can change this deck. It's been 4 years.
Even with the fuck-ups?
Even with the fuck-ups, you get a passing grade.
Hey, look at that. Overall, though, like, I think Grismold is such a cool deck. And, I know it's lower on the EDH rec rankings, but it's just a cool card because it's doing something
really
that not
is.
a lot of decks do.
Just token hate. Just a token hate deck.
Yeah.
And I like that I can play it against no. I would like to say I've never played this deck against a token deck. Let's put it that way. Like I've never seen the true power that this deck could get. I've only ever played this deck with hey, anyone playing tokens? No? Alright, cool. I'm playing a token hate deck. I would love to see this against, Creeps is playing Chatterfang or
you should play it when he plays Chatterfang. God, that'd be funny.
It would be. It's a race.
He would get very angry very quickly.
He would get so salty. But yeah, I'm not trying to
really
piss people off that way. Really. But so like I've kind of neutered myself playing this deck, in only non-token situations. But even with
still,
that, it's still a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's such a cool mechanic.
Still get huge because of how much like token you can generate from it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's cool. I like it. I like the cuts. I like the ads.
Thank you.
A lot of the cuts made sense. So I should really go back and revisit a couple more of my decks. See, we don't have to do this because you only have decks for like 3 months at a time.
Hey,
you make a deck, break a deck, make a deck, break a deck.
Up on a year of having Tavash.
Ooh.
And it's never going away. I love that deck.
Yeah.
I think like of all the decks that came from this podcast, like I think for you it's probably Alondra, but for me it's Tavash, where like it was just that, lightning in a bottle, like fuck, this deck is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tavash is definitely that one for me. So yeah. But yeah, we could definitely in a few months sit down with some of my decks that are still around. You know.
Well,
So.
you get a little ahead of yourself here. Let's see if they're still there in a
Yeah,
month or
that's what I
two.
said. If they're still there. All right. Well, hey, people can let us know what they think by going to the Discord, which the link will be down below.
Ooh. Yeah, you and
And
me
there'll
are
also be a
trash
link.
talking each other in the Discord right now. You're upset that I
Yeah.
keep on winning games, apparently.
I was waiting for you to see it. I was like,
I
I
don't
made a
check the Discord as
suggestions
much
for
as I should
Lazz
sometimes.
channel
Yeah.
because one person every other day was like, Lazz, put this in beater. Lazz, put this in beater. And I was like, here's a channel just for you to say this. And so I went in there the other day and was like,
do I have the right to add? Like, how do you even add a channel?
you should. There's like a button you press. I mean, you should. Are you gonna put a suggestion for Cody channel up there?
Yeah. Yes,
God
I
damn it.
am.
No, don't do this to me.
Why not?
Because I'm gonna get a bunch of like, let Lazz win more games. Quit being mean, Cody.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. You can also reach out to us on email by email at brewitorscrewit@gmail.com. And yeah, leave us a follow. Share the podcast with more people. We actually saw a good bit of growth this year, between MagicCon, podcasting with friends, things like that. So thank y'all. We really
Our last
appreciate all
episode with you talking with Charlotte.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Go definitely go back and listen to that one. I know Lazz was not there for that one. He was off in Chi-Town during that time.
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town. But I think a lot of cool information came from that, with how the Commander format panel works and stuff like that. So that was really cool. And then we also got to talk about Ghoul Caller Gisa, which is a really cool card. So, so yeah. Lazz, you're the host, so hit it.
Am I the host? All right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how you end these things usually. I've usually tuned out at that point.
Definitely. Oh, really? Okay. All right. You definitely know how we end it.
I'm sorry, I was
believe in
busy
you.
making suggestions for Cody on our on our Discord,
Bitch.
and I even
What the fuck?
I even did the honor of putting a suggestion in there.
Oh, I can't wait to read what this is.
It says get good at magic.
Oh, that's fucking rude. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I'm gonna win one here. I'm gonna win one.
I can't wait to see it. We're all rooting for you, bud.
Thanks.
All right, well, take us out,
take it
man,
away.
because I don't know how we end these.
You don't. Oh my god, I'm so hurt. Well, until next time, this brew.
Hold on, this brew has actually been reviewed. We usually say that, and we're not usually talking about a brew that we've just that's been around for a while. So this brew has been reviewed. This is a brewed deck that has been reviewed. So
that
it
was
actually makes
literally
sense this time.
Important part of the show.
Sorry, it's been a long episode.
It has been. So
until next time.
This also is coming out before Thanksgiving in America. So yeah, it's like the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe out there. Hope you get cool packs.
Lots of Thanksgiving presents.
Do people do gifts on Thanksgiving?
They should.
They should. You should give a pack to someone you know.
Give your homie a present.
Yeah.
That's our takeaway for this. For Thanksgiving, give your homies some presents.
Yeah. And a kiss on the cheek.
A nice kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
And a pack of cards.
All right. Take it away, Lazz.
All right. Until next time, everybody. This brew
has been reviewed.
There we go. It's not so easy, is it? Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.